So how do you know that the shit has hit the fan or is going to hit the fan? What's some telltale signs that it might be happening very soon? You saw in other countries they had like a bank holiday Friday. Don't worry, the banks will be back open on Monday. Was that Cyprus or something like that? And it was really like 3 weeks later, and then everybody finally got to use their money again, and they were missing 30% of it. That's kind of a sign. They say something's going to happen this Friday. You might want to go camping or bug out ahead of time. If the power goes out for too long, one big thing is I think I'm going right away is cell phones. The cell phones go down, cars aren't working, no power. I'm probably leaving. That's probably
There's so
sign.
many different. I mean, you look at theories, actuality, things that have happened in history. You've had bank holidays that have happened. You've had, we'll call it even a lockdown, where they've had people shut the whole entire, country down. You've had where they have just immediately raised everything in price. Inflation happens, hyperinflation,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
like that.
Venezuela.
You have EMP.
Argentina, any kind of war type anything. So the more you see war stuff going on around the country, the more you see power outages, the more you see inflation. They're all signs that there's a potential chance for
or
something
control.
to happen.
I mean,
more
you
control,
get more
yeah.
control. I mean,
And you lose more freedom. They get more control. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are all things that. That's pretty much why everybody's been on a kick so hard lately. Like, oh, something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen because everybody kind of feels it. They're all just kind of waiting to see what happens.
See the warning signs, see the history repeat itself on things. I mean, if you can't see that something's happening at this point in time right now, because I mean, you've got mainstream media, you have like the news channels right now too talking about, inflation.
Yeah.
When you have the natural, I say natural,
national
fake.
news. Yeah.
Anyway, so you have the news that's typical news on, I won't even name the channels because I don't give a crap, but if you have them talking about it, something's on its way. When they start talking about inflation, it's already worse than what they're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
So that's one thing that got me to go, okay, it's not if, it's when something's going to happen now.
And then remember, a lot of times with inflation, there's a deflationary period after the inflation because they're going to pump more money, obviously, but there's going to be probably a deflationary period. It seems like there's always, before a hyperinflation, there's a deflation. It might be really fast, so we'll slowly start ticking up, and next thing you know, everything will get deflationary. It'll be cheaper all of a sudden for some reason. Everybody's like, oh, everything's perfectly fine, and then spike.
I was going to say,
and then that's when it gets bad.
You have it where, where we're at right now, to come out of it is going to take a lot. The debt that, the U.S. has is immense, and yet we've got money going overseas. So something's going to come, and whether it's good or bad, and even if it's good, you still have a long time to recover from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
and our supply chain issues, I talked about that a little bit in the past. That's another sign of something starting to break down, something starting to go bad. Infrastructure. They come up with an infrastructure bill that has nothing to do with infrastructure. That makes complete sense. That's more currency collapsing stuff.
Have you heard about the, idiot in charge right now? That you're talking about the $4 trillion, I think it was, that he's going to spend.
Well, they call that infrastructure, but if you look in the bill, it was like paying people to stay home again kind of thing, which doesn't help economically when businesses can't get anybody in there to work.
Yeah, well, he made
economics
no sense.
is a big sign too that we're going to have some sort of issue. When I think this last week was,
you can't buy yourself out of debt.
Yeah,
you can't.
Socialism doesn't work. It doesn't work. You run out of other people's money. The whole thing, and then on top of it, we've got numbers that are like over 400,000 every week are losing their job, first time unemployment. The numbers don't add up.
You have the end of this month.
The rent moratorium.
The rent moratorium. So the protection over people being kicked out of their houses or their apartments, whatever, is up at the end of July.
That's kind of a sign that might not be. If you've seen a tent city before, they're going to get bigger.
Look at California.
California's horrible.
Look at California. If you haven't seen California, you need to look at all the homeless. Anyway, at the end of July, you are going to have millions of people that are going to be homeless.
Yeah.
In a matter of, a few days, you're going to have homeless people all over the place.
People selling boats. If you want to buy a boat cheap,
You're going to see, they're going to make it look like that the housing is going to be available now. You're going to have more houses, more apartments available, and they're going to make it look good.
you don't know what
real bad.
what they're going to do with the interest rates yet. You don't know. These are all things to watch. These are all going to be signs that are going to tell you, okay, look, I might have a job now, but how long? That could disappear at any time. If there's no money coming into the business, they can't keep the business open. So it's got to be something that's like extremely needed. Even the food places with the supply chain issues that they're having, getting their product or getting the raw product that they turn into a product, they're still having issues with. And once you start seeing bare shelves, you're going to start saying, well, maybe the next truck that comes in, okay, well, the next truck that comes in might have half as much as it normally did. That came from the warehouse because that's all they had there. And the price is going to be up 20%, even though it's only 5.5% right now. Inflation, the way they do their numbers are horrible, even compared to 20 years ago.
I don't know if anybody was watching the Dollar Trees, but the Dollar Trees were having a hard time staying open all week. We noticed around our area where they were only open maybe 1 or 2 days a week.
That's crazy. They don't have enough help, and then what?
They couldn't restock.
At a Dollar Tree.
But a Dollar Tree is because everybody was buying all the small stuff, and all the people that actually have some sort of a brain were actually going to the stores and buying the little stuff for a cheaper price. I mean, it may not be the greatest stuff. It's not all natural, whatever, but the people that could afford it, that's where they're going.
Still get peanut butter.
Yeah.
Still get jelly. But one of the things I want to say, too, along with the supply chain stuff, is those cargo shipping back and forth. I mean, the price is like 5 times.
Yeah.
I think they said somewhere around 5 times. So you're gonna have 5 times the expense of moving the same price of products. So the products are gonna have to go up in price. And then when people do start noticing, like, oh man, stuff is going bad. What about this? What about that? And then they start buying more. It's gonna deplete the stuff, which is gonna raise the demand for it. Once again, the price is gonna go up. So it's never bad to have a little extra. It's like food insurance. You got health insurance, you got car insurance, you got insurance probably on your cell phone, depending.
You've got...
Why would you get food insurance?
Yeah, I've got somebody who's been working in propane for, I think it was 40 years now or something like that. And they're cutting off the propane, again, being delivered from the northern parts. So the price of propane is going to go up too by the end of this year, even just a ton.
I've seen some of the stuff with the fuel prices.
Yeah, so you've got the cost of fuel for people right now. You've got the cost of
double in 6 months.
The food to even pay for, the people who are on the cruise ships or whatever to deliver the supplies. You got the cost of the people because there's a high demand and people even working, so they're paying more for people as well. So everything is going up, and you're going to have your product go up.
These are all signs. Yeah, they're all signs that something probably not the best is going to end up happening. We're probably going to have some sort of blip, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, or whether it's a year. We're going to have something that's
I'm
not going to be comfortable.
I'm a carpenter, and my business went down because of the fact that everything else costs so much. Yep. The prices of lumber is coming down right now, but I don't trust it. So, I mean, you look at what I'm dealing with too, the cost that I had to have just for the product to make it worth my while to work, it sucked. And people were griping about the cost. I'm like, well, my price hasn't changed, but lumber has. So
even with them buying the wood, they're spending a lot more.
Yeah, it doesn't change.
So keep your eyes out for the different signs of something that might be coming. Some people, just to get them into something, just say like, well, if you end up buying your coffee, we'll say right now, because it's $10 for a big jug, well, look at what happened with all the coffee in the past couple of weeks. It might be $15-20 on the next shipment coming in. So if nothing else, to get people looking around and paying attention themselves, you could tell them, well, wouldn't you buy that now if it's going to be double in 2 months or 50% more?
Pay attention to the cost of everything.
And good luck to everybody. Hopefully you're out practicing, getting used to using all your stuff, and
turn off your TV.
And stay on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Later.